Police officials over on the island of Bimini seeking God's guidance for the year ahead. A 25-year-old man hauled before the court, the charge attempted murder. And it's Yvonne Ward's Day. We'll tell you why this veteran educator is being celebrated.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Roll-Farquharson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, police over in Bimini spending time in church yesterday. It was the annual worship service organized by the High Command of the Force to seek divine guidance in the year ahead. Natalia Hall reports. Commissioner of Police Anthony Ferguson and a team of senior officers were all in Bimini for the annual church service. Officers marched throughout the community to Born Again Church in Bailey Town. Defense Force officers, immigration officers, customs officers, and members of the Road Traffic Department were a part of the service as well. There was praise and worship. Pastor of the church, Arl Ellis, delivered the sermon. He encouraged the officers to remain focused as they may feel discouraged sometimes during the fight against crime.
God said to let you know that He has transferred power from heaven into your hands.
Amen.
He is counting on you that you are His minister unto good. Amen. And for those who find themselves in violation to the word and to the law, the law is deduced from the word.
He also said that members of the community cannot sit back and say that crime is the responsibility of the police alone.
This is no time for us to vacate our responsibility as citizens in the society. We have a role to play. And so God is equally depending upon each and every one of us as He is depending on our ministers of the gospel and the ministers of the law.
He then prayed for God's guidance and protection for the officers.
The realm that you got to deal with in the natural perspective, the blood of Christ.
Commissioner of Police Anthony Ferguson said good work was done by the police force during 2018, but the country can expect even greater work this year.
We believe that you cannot do anything without God, as you heard the pastor say, and that is our mantra. And we assembled with them, and I thought I should come down today and join them. I haven't been to Bimini in a long while, and it's such a fitting occasion for me to come down along with a couple of the officers from the Providence. And we had a lovely service. I think based on what we would have had in there a short time ago, and if we live by the things that were said, I have no doubt that we will have a better and much safer communities throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Italia Hall, ZNS Network News. In other news, a tornado touching down in West Grand Bahama and ripping through a home. The strong weather system accompanied by lightning and thunderstorms, leaving a trail of destruction around 9:30 last evening. Our ZNS News team visited the home in the area known as the Big Yard, where the tornado made landfall. Family members say the front door to the house was blown down, glass windows smashed, plywood blew off a portion of the roof, as well as the balcony of the two-story structure. Now, we have been informed that the house also had to be secured from the heavy rain with tarp. Now, while the damage was significant, we are happy to report that no one was injured during the apparent tornadic activity in West End. Meanwhile, fire crews were called to the area of Sapodilla Boulevard in Hannah Hill, 8 Mile Rock this past Saturday afternoon, where they met a raging fire contained to a bedroom of a 10-room wooden stock structure. two-story structure, that is. For officers, it was a race against time as weather conditions were not in their favor. Officers were able to bring the fire under control before it threatened any other structure in that community. Officials say the bedroom and contents were destroyed and the remainder of the house incurred significant damage. Officials believe the fire may have been set accidentally. In the meantime, they are advising parents to keep matches out of the reach of children at all times. In other news, the Venetian Express, a burning cargo vessel, is making its way to Grand Bahama. The vessel left Sri Lanka earlier this year and was en route to Halifax, Canada, when a blaze erupted in one of the containers on January 3rd. A release issued by Hapag-Lloyd says 17 Filipino seafarers were evacuated from that burning vessel and taken to Halifax, while the remaining 5 crew members returned to the vessel once the fire was brought under control. The cargo ship is now sailing under its own power with the assistance of a tug. The level of damage will be assessed once that ship arrives to Grand Bahama sometime next week. In news from the court beat, a 25-year-old resident of Frobisher Court appearing in court today, this time on the charge of attempted murder. Brandon Grant was arraigned before Magistrate Charlton Smith. He was not required to enter a plea as the matter is an indictable offense. Grant is accused of shooting a man about the body following an altercation at a residence on Adventurers Way 1 week ago. The victim in this case is still hospitalized and is in very serious condition. Now, police tell us that Grant also sustained injuries during that altercation. He was stabbed in the head and was taken to hospital for medical attention, treated and discharged. Grant was remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections until April 1st. And still on news from the crime beat, police have intensified the search for 43-year-old Tavares DeMonte Beckford, a.k.a. Foe. 2 weeks ago, police issued an all-points bulletin for the resident of Zimbabwe Avenue, New Providence, on the charge of attempted murder. But police now say he is wanted on the charge of murder as well. Beckford is wanted by the Central Detective Unit and is considered to be extremely dangerous. He is 5 feet 7 inches tall, 134 pounds, with medium brown complexion and slim build. Police say he has a mural tattoo on the left side of his face and the name Alexia tattooed on the side of his neck. He is known to frequent Frobisher Circle here in Grand Bahama. So if you have any information on the whereabouts of 43-year-old Tavares DeMonte Beckford, a.k.a. Foe, city you would like to hear from you, call them at 350-3107 through 12, 911-919, or you may call your nearest police station. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us. There's more news right after the break.